Go ahead and action. Good morning.
Good morning.
This is my cell phone. I'm going to leave it on in case anyone needs me.
Yes. Yes. I'm going to listen to another podcast while we're doing this.
Just checking. I have a. People should probably understand what I'm doing right now. Video. This is Brett.
Hey.
This is what Brett's nostrils look like. And over here we have a monitor. I hope it's not going to distract you too much as we chat today.
No, I'm not going to look at it at all. I'm only going to look into your beautiful eyes.
Okay, that's fantastic. So my first question for today: glasses on
Oh.
or glasses off?
See, I think I've crossed the Rubicon on glasses.
You have?
I used to think that I looked better without them.
Yeah.
But now See, this is all the good stuff we should leave for the camera.
What?
We should. This is how the whole thing should start.
We actually have.
You know what I mean? Like now I get why like older actors start to wear glasses with thicker and thicker rims because
nice.
it's just a way to block the crow's feet.
It's a nice look. I find I've been told that I'm more intimidating with my glasses on.
Oh,
Do I
is that-
intimidate you?
No,
Really?
no.
Not at all.
No, you're like a little fuzzy bear.
No, I was going to shave this morning, but I'm like, it's just Brett.
When people say things like, but your glasses make you look, the only thing they can make you look like is that you can see better.
So I have some notes here which we'll get to later, which is why I probably need my glasses. And I think I'm comfortable here. This camera, I'm a little low in the shot, but I'm not going to get up in front. Do you look okay? You look better than I do on camera.
Oh, yeah.
You've been working out?
I've been eating out.
So I want to thank you first. You asked, you offered to pick me up. What was it, Fancy Coffee?
Fancy coffee from French Truck.
Okay. What is French Truck? It feels a bit like a truck stop.
It's
I asked
not-
for a
it's-
mocha, and it feels
it's
like.
It's not. No, because you took 3 sips of mine.
Oh, I did.
I put them down. I handed you the wrong one. Now you have mocha.
Sorry, I was judging you unfairly.
I handed you the wrong one on the back.
That's great. So I've
Good to
been
see you,
drinking from
Stuart.
your.
What are we doing here today? What is this called?
So this
Sorry,
is the
call
movie.
sign.
This is the Movie Media podcast. As you know, I
Yes.
own Movie Media,
I do know that.
and we have started a podcast where, among other things, we're going to do like pre and post event breakdowns for
Nice.
the behind the scenes things with the crew
Great.
here. But we're also doing interviews with. We meet so many interesting people in the
Yeah.
course of our work
Yes.
that I thought we'd bring them on and make it, invite people that have nothing else to do to meet these interesting people. But I couldn't find any interesting people today, so I called you.
Right. That's great. And do you want me to join you for these other meetings of interesting people, or are you just going to do that by yourself?
Well, let's see how this one goes.
Yeah. Oh, so this is
So
a test.
yeah, this is a
Okay.
test. So we've got 30 minutes, 40 minutes, where I
Amazing.
thought we'd just get to meet you.
Nice.
There's nobody else in the studio right now. We're filming this on, what's the date today? 23rd
23rd.
of April, and there's no one in the studio. So I'm going to be glancing up here to make sure that I'm not doing this in front of your camera. You see right there?
Yeah.
When I do
I can see when I look at
when
my
I-
camera that your wrist
When I point,
is in my face.
so that's there to make sure that I don't do that. What? Good.
Professional filmmaker, Stuart Polton.
So I don't know where to start, man. You're one of my favorite people. I love
Oh,
you.
Likewise. I love
Yeah,
you too,
I do. I
man.
think you're a beautiful human being.
Well, that means a lot coming from somebody I believe is smart and discerning and well put together and creative and one of the
That
hardest
was going to be
working
my
of
second
those-
question after the glasses was, can you tell me why I'm awesome?
God,
Can you do that?
I can't even. Do we only have 30 minutes? We only,
Hang on.
so if you need to know why Stuart Polton is awesome, it's because you've never met Stuart Polton. This guy is a one-man film crew.
We've got 2 minutes left.
He's delightful,
Keep talking.
funny and handsome, a lovely father, a reasonable
Reasonable.
You're just amazingly creative
Creative.
and bold.
Bold. I am bold. Like my coffee.
Yeah, and
Thank you for that.
here's one
keep
thing,
going.
and all of that is true.
Yeah.
Although slightly cheeky, I'll say this about you, and
Yes.
you should know this. This is a quality. Don't ever lose this quality.
Okay.
You are fully confident about the things that you know, and totally humble about the things that you don't.
Mm-hmm.
And those two qualities rarely live in one person.
Some would say arrogant with regard to the confidence level.
Yes, and I think it's important.
Yes.
Especially in creativity. Because if you're kind of like, well, I kind of like my ideas, nobody gives a shit. You have, my wife once said, she's writing a book. She was like, you got to think a lot of yourself
dropped
to
that in there, didn't you?
write a book.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
You have to think a lot of yourself to run a film crew, to make choices instantly all the time. But at the same time, when you're presented with something, you're like, I don't know anything about that, and then that leaves space for actual learning.
Well,
a
so
lot of arrogant people, the bucket is full. And you try to put new things in, they spill out.
I do like the way you put that, and I'm going to share it with my wife because last night
she should know.
The dishwasher broke, and it took a day for us to realize the dishwasher broke because we tried to run it 3 times because, of course, we're not construction people, we're not dishwasher people.
Right.
So it took 24 hours and 3 runs before the meat sauce was completely cement baked in because the water wasn't running,
right?
And it still heated up though, so just
good.
cooked that stuff on there. So I dealt with the problem, but then my wife wanted me to fix the dishwasher.
Right.
And you know what I said?
I don't know how to fix dishwasher.
No, I said. I should have said no because I'm so humble about the things I don't know.
Right.
So she's got someone over to fix it today. Which I think is a good division of labor, man. I don't know what I'm doing with the dishwashers.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. My wife does the same thing. She's like, remember how you fixed that door once? Yeah. We fixed the air conditioning. Like, she doesn't understand that I'm clever, but maybe not knowledgeable in a bunch of different things.
Okay.
And then she'll it's kind of like, I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that it's a type of sexism that men suffer from.
Okay.
That is like a subtle, because you can't combat it because you're just a wimp if you say anything, where she's like, she will just come home from a trip and we have like an attic with stairs that pull down, and without asking, without saying anything, she will just leave her luggage underneath it.
Well, it is assumed.
Right.
I mean, your children are not old enough yet to carry it, but eventually you will assume that of your son.
Oh, yes.
Oh, definitely.
Yes.
For sure.
But that sort of division of labor is fine. It's good.
Yeah, absolutely. So, question 3 is all of that intelligence that you have, how do you apply that? How do you not die? How do you apply yourself so you don't die? I mean, what do you do for a living?
Oh, gosh. What do I do for a living? I'm predominantly a teacher and a communication trainer.
Seems very vague.
Yeah, it is vague. I try to keep it as vague as possible. I work at LSU.
Yes.
Where I teach acting, and I also teach improvisation.
Okay.
And I work at the Actors Studio of Orange County, sometimes in the summer or sometimes online. It's an acting studio that we own in Orange County.
California.
And I teach acting.
Is there another Orange County?
Orange County, California, yeah.
Cool.
And we do, I teach acting and stand-up comedy and improv and stuff like that. We're going to be going back this summer, so I'll be doing that. But I also work for a company out of London that gets hired by big, fancy companies that have signed NDAs that I can't talk about. Then I teach their executives.
You're a spy, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
You're a spy.
I'm a spy for England.
You fit right in.
Yes. Yeah. So I basically train them how to communicate with their teams and how to give talks and
cool
stuff like that.
So I guess the improv, I mean, it's a skill that everyone would benefit from, right? So I guess you're taking that into the corporate world to help people think and improv on their feet.
Yeah. Not all of it's improv. Some of it's just really basic skills about, I mean, a lot of people don't know how to use their voice.
Hmm.
They don't know that you can make choices to make your voice sound differently. Or I'll give you one example. Most people don't know this. If you're on a Zoom call or a Teams call and you have a camera on uh, your computer and you're looking at that, and you're the one talking, you should raise your hands up like this and gesture like that.
Really?
Yeah,
Why?
because if you gesture like this, no one can see your hands.
True.
It feels like you're landing a plane. It feels totally awkward, but actually, people who use hand gestures are trusted between 30 and 60% more than people who don't use hand gestures.
Okay.
So just to be so you can be seen.
Is there a correct way to do it?
Well, there's, you want to have your hand gestures connected with what you're talking about.
Could you give me an example of when they're not?
When they're not
Yeah,
connected.
what would be an awkward example of how
Yeah,
not
yeah,
to
yeah.
do it?
So it was tiny, right? It was really, really big.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like people just do the wrong.
I think I've got
Yeah,
that. Well,
you
that's
wanna-
cool. I mean,
you
that's a
want
cool way to
some-
earn a living. So my dad, when he calls me from England, he's 70 now, and he's doing great. But he'll call me, and I'm out filming something. Going to Vegas this weekend to film a convention, which is fantastic. Well, actually, this will air next Wednesday, so that will have happened. So I just
So last
came back
Wednesday you're
from
going to Vegas. How was it?
It was fantastic. So, but yeah, he'll call me and I'll be on these jobs, and he doesn't think I work. He said that's not work because he's a retired police officer. He works shifts and things. And so, does your dad consider what you do work?
My dad has passed over. My dad died, so he doesn't think anything about what I do. No, it's too soon.
Sorry,
It's been 4 or 5 years.
Okay.
No, he loved what I did. He hated his own job secretly forever.
So why? This is how I know I'm a terrible person because I should have said I'm so sorry.
Why are you sorry? You didn't do it. I never understood that. I'm so sorry about your father's loss. I finally figured out who did it. No.
So he loved what you did. Cool. Yeah.
No, he loved it. He loved it. He secretly wanted to be an actor and a comedian, and was whisked off to Vietnam. And when he got back, he
had no
was
sense
so
of humor.
scared he didn't go into med school and took the job at GE Plastics
Sorry.
and blah, blah, blah,
Yeah.
and then like woke up at 70.
Wow.
It was like, oh, that happened,
Mm-hmm.
And so he was always happy that I wasn't gonna.
Do you have any brothers and sisters?
I do, yeah.
Yeah. How many?
I have an older brother
Are you second child?
and I have an older sister.
You're either second child or you're the baby.
I'm the baby. And
Makes a
and
lot of sense.
my sister also passed. It's not funny, but last year,
Sorry.
yeah, she was not old.
Sorry.
Thanks for bringing that up.
Do you want a minute?
No.
Okay, so all right, that was a terrible line of questioning.
No, you're doing great.
I'm gonna
No,
sip-
I'm the
I'm gonna
youngest.
sip a cup of coffee real quick.
It's just me, as you guys say in England. Me mum. me mum.
What makes you think I'm?
Me brother.
What makes you think I'm English?
It's either that or you're like a drunken Australian person. Like you're just always drunk. No, I noticed the way that you
feel.
dress, the black t-shirts.
Is that an English thing?
I don't know. How else would I notice?
Okay,
you
so
told me.
are you ready for-
just said your dad who lives in England. I'm assuming he spawned you.
Maybe all of that was not true.
Mm.
That's a really natural way to drink your coffee. So
Yeah, I'm just trying not to hit the bar because
That's
that'll make a
great.
funny noise.
that's great. So so glasses for me.
This is too much fun.
Glasses for me.
I want to say.
They're new, because I'm 25, and so new. I haven't started to have trouble reading the little text when they do double authentication,
Right.
and so I've got these because I'm tired of zooming in on taking a picture of the screen and zooming in.
Yeah.
How long have you been wearing glasses for?
It's funny this, so when I turned 20, when I turned 44,
Mhm.
10 years ago, I went to the doctor and he said, next time you come in, you'll need glasses. I said, I don't need them now. He said, no, your vision's fine. next time you come in, you will need glasses. And I was like, are you a witch? What are you talking about? You're a doctor. You
44.
know, and then the next year I went in
Yeah.
and I was like, I think I need glasses. I'm having trouble reading. He's like, I told you.
You know, there's
Because there's like a muscle that hardens in the eye, that the one that focuses the reading. And it, for most people, between the age, like between a certain age range, it just stops working.
I didn't realize you were an optometrist.
No, well, just this is just what the optometrist told me.
Okay, so I know an optometrist. Should I give his
Well,
name? He's a client of mine.
he's sure
Ah,
free advertising.
yeah, the Williamson Eye Center. Blake Williamson,
Hmm.
very handsome fella. My wife thinks he's cute. So does a lot of women in town, I think. But anyway, off
Plus, he's
subject.
an eye doctor.
He's an eye doctor, dude. I mean, it's. I
Which
mean,
is kind
can
of
you
like
think?
a doctor.
Can you think of any careers where just your clients, like, you know, you're going to be buying glasses from me, every single person, and this is just like,
Well, that's why it's brilliant.
yeah,
Think about it. My grandfather was a mortician. So we're getting very
same
morbid.
business. Yeah.
They used to joke about it. They're like,
What's the joke?
"You'll be a customer soon."
Is that their marketing slogan?
Yeah,
Watching the news.
they were really. I mean, I got a lot of sense of humor from my grandfather, who was the mortician,
Sure.
because his business was in his home.
Yeah.
Remember My Girl? Remember the movie My Girl? They had their
Yes.
kitchen on the second floor.
Do 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 do.
Yeah,
do.
that's where
That
my
was the
mother
song.
grew up, in a big house with a kitchen on the second floor. And on the first floor, they had the rooms for the wakes and all that stuff. And in the basement is where they embalmed the body.
Oh, wow, you look way too excited about this.
Yeah, I never saw it. My brother, who's cuckoo,
Yeah.
he got to see that when he was a kid. So that they were like, never go in the basement. Anyway, so the whole joke with them was, when you have customers, they're mourning. So you're just like the most serious. So sorry for your loss.
You have to cuff it.
And yeah, you just have to keep a lid on it all the time. You're totally cool. But they had like a back of house.
Okay.
They literally had like doors they had like push doors in the wall where you could, like, you're working out and
Sorry to interrupt, but your hand is in my frame. If you could please stop doing that.
uh and so they would like they
Right.
would go back and they were like, "Do you see this Battle Axe? Can't wait till she's a customer." and then they would come out and be like, "Yes, ma'am, I'm so sorry for your loss." Yeah, that whole stuff.
You're very good at that, by the way. I should have said that earlier, and I'm still sorry.
Yeah, I never got to work for him because he retired before I was of working age. But I would have liked that job.
What was your first job? What was the first job? What was the first shitty job that you ever did
I was a
that
bus.
forced you
I
to
was
knuckle
a
down as a comedian?
I was a busboy at a small French restaurant called La Petite Différence, and they told me
Was
I
it
was
an American restaurant?
Yeah, it was owned by a French American woman who was the mother of a friend of mine.
Did they just pretend to be French? Because that is what Americans think of when they think of a French restaurant. Now.
Of course, yeah. And it was pretty decent food. It was about the size of this room. It had about
You knocking the
15
sides of my
tables.
room?
This space that we're in now.
You're knocking it?
No, I'm just saying,
Okay, just
for
one.
a restaurant,
I didn't know it
right?
should be
It
inside.
wasn't Chili's,
Okay.
and so yeah, that was. I remember I was so dumb because I was 14 or 13, clearing tables, and I was thinking, God, I'm making like $7 an hour, or $5 or whatever they pay you, and then it was very cute. I thought she must have been like such a grown up. She was probably 19 or 21, beautiful waitress. At the end of the night, handed me a pile of money, and I said, "What's this for?" She goes, "Oh, it's your cut of the tips." And I was like, "Oh my God." That's so dumb. I didn't know that I got part of the tips. So
How much of that total did you save that day?
I have all of it.
You have all of it still.
Compound interest from age 14 to 54. It's now $6.2 million. No, I probably spent it on the way home.
So my first job, and this is how I know.
What was your first job?
Oh, you don't have to ask me questions. I'm just going to talk at you. This is not what I do. So I know enough to know that I'm not good at this, and so I'm just feeling my way, man. Just feeling my way. Anyway, so yeah. So the reason I wanted to tell you about my first job
Well, please do.
is because it's it's what reminds me that I'm not actually a psycho, because sometimes the sense of humor gets a little iffy. But so anyways, a chicken factory, a poultry factory.
Ooh.
Yeah, and so my friends were all working in there, and it was they paid good money, and I went to work there and realized why, because it was just horrific. So I started in the fridge. There was a conveyor belt that came through a wall, and it had recently murdered chickens on the conveyor belt. And my job and all my friends was in the fridge. We would take them, we would shrink wrap them, and then we would put them on shelves, and we would push them into the fridge, which then the freezer, which eventually went onto the truck. So I learned a couple of things.
Yes.
Well, I really shouldn't say that. So anyway, I learned that they paid the people that did the slaughtering like 3 times as much as I was making. And so I was like, next position that's available, I'll go into the slaughter part. And this is the part that lets me know that I'm not a psycho, is because I went in there and I lasted 12 minutes. 12 minutes. Yeah, it stank and it was brutal, and these little living things. And yeah. I didn't cry because I didn't cry, but I was
Pretty upsetting.
yeah. So yeah, just wanted to let you know I'm not a psychopath.
Oh, good. I don't think that psychopaths make good creative people or good leaders, or they're not good at anything.
I thought my wife just called me. It wasn't. This is.
Tell her I said hi.
Do you like doing a music video next week? And I need video clips of moms and their sons throughout the ages.
Nice.
It's a country song, and
I get a lot of those.
yeah. And so I was going through my phone and I found this picture of Sam. It's cute, right? Can we see this?
Do you know what you can do? And this will make you cry. I set my screensaver
It's my son.
as a slideshow of just my son. So every time I pick up my phone, it's another random.
How does your daughter feel about that?
I don't talk to her. I'll switch it to her later.
Yeah.
But he, I mean, it's not really there. You can kind of see, like,
Yeah.
there's always and like sometimes it's little tiny bald Artie,
Yeah.
like pre-speech, or he's just like. I realize when they're small, they only have like 2 looks. One, they just joy,
And the other
and
one,
the
I'm
other one is
pooping.
just basically like, what's happening?
Yeah.
And I think about that a lot.
All right. So this picture here, I liked it because what
You
is he
should
like?
show the
3?
camera.
I already tried. It's not going to happen.
Does it
So,
focus?
it's focused on your face. Mine is on autofocus, which is why I
Oops, I
showed
just
my
bumped the
camera.
mic.
That's
I've
okay.
been trying the whole time to.
That's so cute. Well, it's now black, so they can't see anything. But
Oh.
so the reason I like that picture is because he's 3, and he's just started talking, and I think I can't remember. It was just a blur. I mean, for the first 4 years of my children's lives, it was just in my head.
Yeah.
I don't think it's
Somewhere
unusual.
between 1 and 3, they start talking.
But anyway, the expression in his face, I would have said to him, "Hey Sam, smile," and he went, "Ooh," and I'm pretty sure that's proof positive that his sense of humor is genetic. I didn't think it was, but he's too young to have really developed the sense of humor that.
My youngest is demonic like that. Like she's. I tried to give her a timeout again this morning. Tried to give her a timeout
Yes.
because she called her brother a poo-poo face.
Uh-huh.
And I said, go in the corner and do a timeout. She puts her hands on the wall. She shakes her bottom and goes, booty, 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 booty. And if it wasn't catchy, it would be really annoying.
Yeah,
Like,
but it's catchy, isn't it?
and it's so funny. And I have to be like, no, don't be
Yes.
funny.
Yes, it is difficult to
When-
parent funny children. I have a couple. So are you ready for Houston? I was looking at my schedule,
Oh, yeah.
and Houston's coming up in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, so I've had a couple of really great shows. The last one clocked in at an hour and 20, just me.
Cool.
They asked for an encore, so I had to remember another song and play that.
Cool.
I think I want to tighten it up.
Mm-hmm.
The show at Boomerang, I think mostly because of the laughs. It was a packed house. Was about an hour and 10.
Mm-hmm.
I think shooting that much and then editing it afterwards. But long story short, yeah, I'm ready. I'm going to do another show at Boomerang.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to do a show Friday night, late night at
Cool.
the Baton Rouge Improv, which will have already happened when this came out.
Do you have to bring your own pole for your shows, or do they provide the pole for you?
They provide the pole, but I have to bring the grease.
Because you didn't say stand-up comedy is what your shows in Houston will be stand-up comedy.
Oh yeah, we're going to be doing
So I took the initiative
stand-up
and
comedy / pole
implied
dancing.
you're a strip dancer. I said
Yeah,
they called it a strip dancer. I didn't.
It's for the most part it's a stand-up comedy
Yes.
show. There's a few more long form story type of things, but that's still stand-up. And there's a couple of comedy songs in the show, but I still consider that stand-up. And those who are purists and don't think so can fuck themselves.
Yes. Do you want to talk about the project we did last year, or do you want to keep it hush hush? Because
No, it doesn't have to be hush hush. We
no?
can.
Okay, cool. Well, you
put
had a
some-
whole public viewing, so
Yes, we did have a public viewing, and
tell us about the project. Tell me about the project that we did together last year.
Yes. Well, you were there. The project, it was a pilot presentation for a show that Matt Jablow and I wrote called Bike Packers. So the tagline is something like two empty nesters pack up their whole lives and go bike packing, wild camping, and biking across the country to start a YouTube channel and reignite the passion in their relationship. And then things take a dark turn. So took a lot of time to write that, and also many other, like the whole like season arcs and all of these things. And then and then brought it to you, and you liked it, and so
It was very good. It was.
we cast it. We shot it like over just a month of Fridays and a few Saturdays mixed in there, and
Yes,
fantastic experience.
May I use a clip or two, maybe in this podcast? Maybe we cut to maybe we awkwardly cut to a scene.
Yes, I would love to
Okay,
cut to a
give me a
scene.
minute.
Cut to a scene.
Whoa, shh, we just have to.
The road looks exciting, but it's not for you. It's too hard. Oh, boo-hoo. No excuses. You make the decision to get up there and put that last bit of energy and everything you got. You've got to get up off the couch. A bike. It's in you. And it's yours. It's freedom.
Hey, get off the couch. Is this all you're gonna do since being fired?
Businesses don't want people who are passionate about their work.
No!
I'm doing research. Sure, my communication style can be vivid.
How come I'm the only one around here who fucking gives a shit? Huh?
Okay, and we're back.
That was great.
That was
Thanks
great.
that was the scene about that thing that
Yep.
you picked.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah,
And yeah, that was an amazing experience. I think because you didn't have a crew of 20 people, it was just you and one guy. You were telling what to do, and we got to film a lot and find a lot of funny and a fun story and some really great characters. I wish you hadn't been sick during the viewing, but
I was going to apologize for being sick. I was genuinely sick.
no, I believe you.
I would have been there.
I believe you because I got sick the day after I visited you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
You had COVID
Yes.
because I tested positive.
I don't
for
know
COVID.
so before COVID, you just got sick and then
Yeah.
you got over it. Like now everyone needs to know what they're sick with.
Yeah. Well, the reason why that's good is because if it's the flu, they do have a thing that works.
Yeah. You were the guy that told me that I
Yeah.
should do that, and I ignored you and then was sick for like 5 days and it hurt.
But it may have been COVID because you were like pretty much well, but I visited you, and then the next day,
Yes.
because I rushed to the doctor, I was like, maybe I have the other, because there's two types of flu. I was like, maybe I have the other one, and the Zufloza or whatever is gonna work on this too. And they went, no, you have COVID, and it just lasted 3 days, and I was better. The
Yeah.
COVID was less worse than the flu.
I'm pretty sure I had COVID the November before it became a thing. Like my whole family was out. It doesn't matter. I don't want to talk about sickness.
Yeah,
It's
no.
disgusting.
No, the
Why would you bring that up?
the super fun part about the viewing was seeing that there were things that I kind of thought were funny, people thought were hilarious. Like
So you had like an audience in town.
we had a audience of about 40 in a tiny little
awesome, dude.
theater over at Boomerang. And I wish I had filmed the audience or recorded them. as proof, as like a test audience, because from go, people were laughing during the Vietnam speech
Yes.
that we were worried was too slow.
Too long, yeah.
Every pause was filled with laughter.
That's awesome.
It was, and people loved the ending.
Yeah, the ending was great, dude. That was hilarious.
We want to see more, so we're reaching out to people in the industry, and we're trying to get it up on some streaming channel, and
Good.
trying to make more. We want to make more.
Well, I'm down to make more. If you want to make more,
like Jay Leno said about Doritos.
What did he say?
Keep out something. We'll make more.
No, I enjoyed the project. It was great. And we'll show a clip. So
Yeah.
let me think. What else do I want to ask you about?
Yeah. Oh yeah. So my one-man show that we're filming in Houston is going up this Friday, and on the 2nd back at Boomerang, and that's about being a father and being a music lover and how that has to do with each other. But
So I'm just gonna just leave this awkward pause in.
okay, good.
Excuse me. Baton Rouge Improv Festival.
Yes.
Could you please just let the folks know what that is? And
Oh yeah.
'cause
Well,
that's actually how we met, isn't it? Many years ago.
It is.
So what is
it? It is a festival of improvisation and comedy that is strongly supported by LSU and takes place at the LSU Music and Dramatic Arts Building in a
Beautiful
nice theater
space.
there. It's usually a couple of nights. It started off as a multiple night event, 5 nights. This year we've cut it down to 2 just because it's been a busy year.
Sure.
But we usually just get. Last year we had some like a guy from the Kids in the Hall, and we had some of my favorite improvisers in the past from LA and Chicago and all these great people. It started because there's this improv group at LSU, aptly called Improv LSU.
Super funny. They are super talented.
Super talented group, and they had some successes, and I approached the dean of the college and said, hey, would you support me in running a festival? And they just said yes. And then COVID hit. Coming back to that, we don't want to talk about it, but the world shut down for some random reason. We don't know why.
I forget.
And I just started telling people, well, we'll just do it online, not having any idea what that meant. Like thinking I could just turn on a Zoom camera. And so when people who actually did that kind of stuff, because people have been doing it for a while, started asking me like, well, who's your technician and how are you doing that and how many cameras? And I was like, I'm just going through dumb sheer will, going like, it's going to happen. We still have a date. And then we lost our space because we were like, you can't have a thing while the plague is happening. And I sent about 15 emails to local production. I just Googled local production companies. One fine lady called me up, and we had like a 20-minute conversation. At the end of it, she was like, this is great. We totally can help you. It'll be about $40,000. I was like, we have 11. She goes, you have 11,000? I said, no, we have $11. We hadn't even formed our nonprofit yet, so we couldn't even take donations. And as I was hanging up the phone with a tear in my eye, your email popped up, and I remember exactly what it said. It said, this sounds fun. And I called you, and I went, you probably remember, I went, we have no money. And you're like, yeah, no, I make plenty of money. I just, I like comedy.
I don't think I said that.
No, you did. You were lying. You were like, I'm fine. I like to.
I said I'm fine.
You're like, I'm fine. I just like to do these. And then I think that first year we were in the library because we had lost the LSU space.
Yes, the library's one of my clients, and they have lots of public spaces. Fantastic. And we made Mary Stein. Thank you, Mary Stein. She hooked us up. And
Awesome, Mary Stein. Hooray.
yeah, she's great. And so, away we went.
Away we went. And now it's year 5, and just by happenstance, you got a really good gig in Vegas. So
Yeah, well,
it just worked out that way.
I mean, I'm going to go ahead and just call it like it is. I mean, if you call me 3 days before, it's like the dice is in your hand.
We put it in the calendar.
It's not on my calendar.
We put it in the calendar 4 months ago. I swear to God, we did.
You see, this is right. This is where the glasses have to go back on, because I don't mess up my
even
calendars.
the last time we met, I said,
Are we going to end this
sure
on
you-
as a
Yeah.
fight? I think we should
no,
go.
no, no,
Let's
I
go.
don't care.
Let's go.
I don't care. I'm so grateful for everything you've done. And,
Just kidding. I'm just kidding.
but I'm sure I told you. It was, you know, you made a
So,
mistake. It's okay.
so we
No,
I'm
I'm actually
pretty
happy
sure.
for you. I would rather you said, I know I said I was going to do this thing, but I get to go to Vegas and get paid. I would go.
so
Nobody cares about the improv festival.
it's so much fun though. I mean,
is super fun.
One of the things I said to you when we first met about that first call is theatre people are a special breed of people.
Yeah.
And I used to be a theatre person, so I get it. I know. And just the idea of hanging out with a bunch of theatre people and doing something that you
So
guys
fun.
believe in. And it's year over year. It just it morphs and it's a little different every year, but it is a night worth going to. So,
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and you're
But
pretty
by the
funny on
time you air
stage,
this,
dude.
it'll be already have happened.
Yeah, again. Well, this is hardly a promotional thing. This is just
No,
us
this is
talking about
us.
what we do and what we love.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So, what else do you love?
Well, I love my children.
Yep.
I love them. And
Do they love you?
They do. They're really sweet.
So they're under
I had-
5.
I
No,
had-
under 7.
3 and 6.
Okay. 'Cause
Yesterday,
I hear that
my son is on
you at 8.
his spring break, which does not line up with ours.
Yeah.
So he's just kind of hanging around the house. We're like taking him to class. And
Sure.
but yesterday, I came home from class and my wife had a Zoom meeting and she's like, and he's just tearing up the house. I was like, let's go to lunch. So I took my 6-year-old for like a business lunch.
I had all 3 of mine on, was it Monday? Gianni had surgery. I don't want to get into that. All right, my friend. Well, listen, this has been fun. I appreciate
it's
this very
great.
much. And we should do this again.
I would love to.
Okay.
Whatever
if this
you
gets
need.
really famous, if this gets really popular, I will call you and we will do it. And maybe some people will watch.
I don't see why people wouldn't watch us.
I mean, neither do I, actually. So, thank you for the coffee.
You're welcome. Thank you. Movie Media Podcast. Chip-a-dook-a-dook-dook. Is that your new theme song? Movie Media Podcast. Choop-a-doop-a-doop-doop.